Oh, hi. Welcome to the What is Life podcast. We are here today with the amazing and pretty cool Mateo Toons to get...
Wahoo! I've arrived.
Oh boy. Podcast number 1, first guest. It's a special honor. How do you feel?
I feel normal because, I already had you on my podcast, so it's just like we're doing a normal conversation once again, so it's not too different, thankfully, so I'm not completely out of my comfort zone, but I do feel a little weird being on somebody else's podcast, I must admit, but, I'll have to, just deal with it, I guess.
Yeah, boy, you're a long way from home, boy. You're a long way from home.
Yeah, this is not my channel. This is the first time I ever talked on... Well, I mean, like, really talked on somebody else's channel. I've done collabs here and there, but, it's kind of weird, so...
And the even weirder thing is this is a new channel, pretty much. It's not even the main channel.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really?
It's for... Yeah. So, that's even weirder. You're gonna be, like... You're in the unknown.
Wow, I'm in, like, the urban areas now of YouTube.
Oh, boy. Hey, stay safe.
Where am I?
Safe. Stay safe. Look around you at all times. Don't take out your phone too much. Don't have flashy things. Be careful.
I won't.
So pretty much the purpose of this is to get people's take on life, is what I'm thinking. And Mateo Toons has a very unique way of living because he is a YouTube...
A cartoonist.
Yeah.
A cartoonist, YouTuber.
He's
making animations.
A YouTube cartoonist animator. Animator.
Yeah, man, it's very odd because, whenever people come up to me and say, oh my gosh, I found your YouTube channel, I didn't know people make cartoons still, and I was like, yeah, I kind of found it 2 years ago, and I'm now, doing it full time, and I'm almost at the 4,000 hours of watch time, and then after that, I just got to get the 1,000 subs, and then I'll be able to make money off of it.
1,000 subs and 4,000 minutes of watch time. Oh boy.
Hours. 4,000.
Oh yeah, true. 3,000 hours. But yeah. So you got that pretty unique take on life because you are growing up. You're 2007, 2008.
Wait, what do you mean? When was I born?
Yeah.
October 30th, 2003, actually.
Oh boy, 2000. Oh, that's true. My math is great. 2000.
Early 2000 boy. Trust me, growing up in the 2000s was awesome, man. It was like true childhood right there. It's like, I know 90s kids had it better, but growing up in the 2000s with, Trix Go-Gurt and Orange Juice and Nicktoons and Cartoon Network all day, just truly a time to be alive, man.
Oh yeah. I'm that 1997 boy. So I got the I got the millennial stuff going on. I got the I crossed 2 whole millennials.
Darn millennials.
Dude.
I was close, off by 3 years, but yeah, I've had a pretty crazy life. I was born a day before Halloween, which doesn't really hold up as much as it used to because I don't go trick-or-treating anymore. I might this year, but I don't do that kind of thing anymore because I have money now. Wow, and I can just go to the store. I could just go to the store and buy
boy.
Candy. Yeah, it's
you ballin', boy. Cool.
That rich life.
Hey, you can actually take candy from Halloween and resell it later, right? Is that a thing?
Yeah, dude.
That's actually a
I think so.
Business hustle move right there. And you can vlog it to make extra cash on the side.
Vlog it. Okay, guys, this is my selling candy in the hood prank vlog.
Selling candy in the hood prank vlog. And
alright, so
yeah. It's what is Mateo's life? Because you grew up in the time where it's becoming more normalized to do YouTube as a career and to be a video creator online and all that kind of stuff. So you grew up in a kind of cool era, honestly.
I did. So I grew up. I was born 2 years before YouTube came to be. So here's the life of Mateo Toons. I'll probably make a draw my life at 1,000 subscribers because like it's just obvious I'd do that because I'm an artist, draw my life. Blah, 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 blah. So here's the life of Mateo Toons. So October 30th, 2003, I was born into the world, and then I was introduced to dirt and air, and it was amazing.
Nice.
So after that, I don't remember too much of being a little baby, but I did know I grew up in my grandma's house before we moved into our own house, which was amazing. So my dad, we got a PlayStation 2, we got Crash Bandicoot, which is my childhood game. I play that game all the time now. It's a great game. Crash Bandicoot 2, Cortex Strikes Back, and all those great classics. And then we still lived in New Mexico. I've lived in New Mexico all of my life, and it's a beautiful place. I've been to Texas once,
fan.
I think. Yeah, Texas is pretty cool too. It was pretty fun.
Yeah.
Anyway, what happened is that we moved into our own house. It was a giant house, and then we moved down here to my current place. So I'm not going to reveal where it is, obviously, because I don't want people coming to my door. But it's a pretty cool. It's a massive house. But I lived in the house just down the street a couple years ago when I was like 7 or 8, and then when I was 10. We moved in. Oh, I was like 9 or 8, and we moved into this giant house, and that's basically the moving things. And how I figured out YouTube was through my oldest sister. She's moved away now, but she introduced me to YouTube in 2007, I think.
Dang.
So
You were just a baby.
This was when, yeah, man, YouTube was massive, and I was able to comprehend all of the memes from back then, where it was like peanut butter jelly time, cat eating invisible burger, and like just all of those crazy videos on YouTube. And I was like, I gotta make videos eventually, and I actually started doing that. And here's how it happened. One Christmas morning, my parents got me a flip camera. It was a really crappy $30 flip camera, but I was all like, this is the first step to becoming a YouTuber right here. I think I mentioned this on the podcast I did with Ethan on my channel, but I'll just redo it here for the new MRI's podcast. So I got this flip camera when I was like 8 or 9 or 10, I think, and I was ecstatic for this camera. But I broke it one day by doing this, and I kid you not, I put it on top of the fridge, I left it there for like a week, and then I opened the fridge door, and it came crashing down to the ground in a million pieces, like shattered everywhere. Exactly,
Nice.
Exactly, just...
Oh
well
boy.
done, Mateo, well
Clappy,
done.
clappy.
And I gave up on making videos for like 3 years after that, because I just... Exactly. I have footage that I'm planning to do on my channel, where I show people like my trip down YouTube Road. Where I've already done a video like that, but it's basically like I show you guys a bunch of footage of when I was like 10 or 11 or 12 to making videos and just having a complete blast. And then I decided to revive my YouTube career, so to speak, with a gaming channel. Yeah. I tried to revive it with a gaming channel called Dropkick_00, and it's gone off of YouTube now, but yeah, that sucks. It was done like this. It was done on the very phone I'm holding right now. And how it went down is that I took my phone, put it on record, filmed my TV, because I didn't have a computer, nor did I have a capture card, so there was like no way of getting the footage like properly. So I had to do it the ghetto 2007 style.
Yeah.
So I took my phone, I pointed it at my TV, and played a game for about 11 minutes, and I was like, I'll see you guys in the next video. All right, love you, subscribe, like, and comment, buy my merch. And then I just quit the video. I didn't have merch. I just said that as a joke a lot. Yeah.
Okay. I get you.
All right. So after that, it was near the end of this Dropkick gaming career, and I figured out that I actually wanted to make animations and cartoons. And this is where Mateo Toons started to take effect. So, I was animating for my gaming channel, but I was finding a little bit more interest in animation more than video games, because before I figured out I could actually make my own animations, I wanted to be a game developer and designer, because I was still an artist and an animator at heart. I just wanted to apply it to, like, making video games. So what I did is that I endeavored into making animations for my gaming channel. It was basically just like an intro screen, an end screen, and just, you know, little transitions here and there, or like little animated characters would pop up, but it wasn't the most thrilling thing on the planet. And then I was like, you know what, this could actually be a very cool, you know, project I could dive into. So I did that, and then one fateful day, I think it was November or December of 2015 or 16, where I said, alright, I'm gonna quit gaming now and go into animation, so I'll see you guys on the Mateo Toons channel. The reason that Dropkick isn't around anymore is that Dropkick used to be, or Mateo Toons used to be Dropkick, so this is I'm still using the same account as Dropkick was on, but I just deleted all those videos, and they're unrecoverable. I can't find them anymore. They're just wiped off the face of the planet. Unless someone out there was creepy enough to download all of those, then okay, I would possibly have those videos, but throwing shade.
Oh boy. Creepster Ethan.
Poor Ethan, man. Alright, so
yeah.
I made a few animations at first. You guys can go see. I haven't uploaded. I think by the time this podcast comes out, I will have uploaded an update video, but as of right now, I'm still animating it, which I'll talk about a problem I had later when I'm done talking about the whole YouTube journey thing. So what happened was that I dropped gaming, went into animation, and I uploaded my first animation. It was a fan animation for this cartoon called Ed's World that I was super into at the time. So I ended up doing that. And I was like, I should animate the 2005 special, because it was a Christmas special made in October or November, I don't know, but it was uploaded like a day after Halloween, November 1st, or it was uploaded on Halloween, which was weird because it was a Christmas special, so I was diving into the whole Christmas and Halloween thing.
Yeah.
So what I ended up doing was animating some of the 2005 special, but never finishing it, because I was like, I should just make my own original content. So skip forward a few months where I'm just experimenting, where you can find my little series called Reanimations, or the little animated short called Never Grow Up. Those were just experimental animations until I dropped my first actual animated cartoon, Swords Kid.
Swords Kid. Shout out.
Yeah, that concept isn't completely dead yet, and I'll explain that in my update video. It's coming back, trust me, but not in animated form, and I'll explain it in my update video. I don't want to spoil too much because I'm quite excited. So
okay, yeah.
I animated the pilot for Swords Kid, which I am going to do a commentary on here very soon, because it was the 1-year anniversary in February, so I was like, whoa, that's cool. So I animated that, and I was like, you know what? Since people liked this so much, and I met some of my greatest friends like Sandburger3000, Toons, and you, Emerias, because you know you were watching my videos, and then you said, hey, new subscriber, and I was like, and you know, I'll check out this Emerias guy. And a little side tangent: the first video of yours that I watched was the "If Your Bathroom Could Talk" video with the racist shampoo. I loved that video so much. Yeah, dude.
Oh boy.
Then what happened is that I dropped everything I was doing by then to make Swords Kid, and for those of you who are watching this and do, you know, dive into my, you know, YouTube channel and watch all my older videos, then props to you, first of all. And also, you could also see that I was experimenting with Swords Kid for about 8 months until I'm doing a podcast right now.
Podcast.
Thank you.
The life of Mateo.
My sister just barged in. I lost my train. She gave me a Coke, which is pretty cool, but...
Hey. Heyo.
Alright, what was I saying?
Yeah. That she gave you a Coke?
Swords Kid. So you could see that for the past year, I was experimenting with it, just like completely falling flat on my face, because the main reason that I kept falling short of making the thing an actual thing is because I did it all by myself. Like, I was able to do it the first few times by myself, but I can't make a fully animated cartoon independently. That's just impossible. You need like at least 4 people helping you with the cartoon, because you can't be handling a big project like that by yourself. And thankfully, I've been working on my comic for the past month, so I've said comics and Swords Kid, and that's all coming back or coming to ya. And I actually have someone helping me with the comic, so hopefully you can connect the dots there by yourself. I don't want to say it out loud, but So, yeah, after that I tried some new animated series, like the failed one, Jordan Hero, which was completely fell flat. My dad even wrote a song for it, which is like this really blast beaty heavy metal song, which I might upload someday. And what happened after that? Just a bunch of other failed cartoon series that never got made or storyboarded. They were just like thoughts. So after that, I decided, you know what? Why don't we just scratch the entire concept of making an animated series and then jump into the thought of a short film, because I was really into animated short films at the time. I can't remember the ones that really inspired me, but the thing that inspired me the most was the cartoon Infinity Train, and I watched that once and I was like, I got to make a cartoon now. If this isn't. Yeah, just inspiration just completely out of nowhere. I was like, this is amazing. Which, by the way, that cartoon has been greenlit for 2019, and I was like, oh my goodness, yes.
Oh, so your childhood.
I'm gonna be able to watch that. Nah, that cartoon was released November of 2016, and it was just, it was great. But anyway, so I dived into the concept of a short film, and that ended up falling flat on its face for this one reason, and I'm not even kidding. People pointed the fact, I made an entire video about it, and I might delete it because it's just pointless now and no one cares. So I made the video. It was like, well, here's some unfortunate news, and it's like, oh, come on, Mateo, right off the bat you're gonna do this clickbaity title. And it was unfortunate news, to be completely honest. It was clickbait, and I was just talking about how I couldn't do this all by myself, and I was like, in hindsight, you should have seen that coming in the first place, because you can't make an animated short film by yourself. It's just impossible. So, what happened after that was, I made the short film, about 5 minutes of it. It was going to be 12 minutes, just like a regular old episode of a cartoon, but it was like a 12-minute short film. I had the story written, I had it all figured out, and then I just couldn't do it because I lost all the sound effects and some animated footage. So I decided to delete an entire file or folder of just trash. But my tablet at the time did not warn me of it being the folder of my sound effects that I dearly needed for the short film.
Yeah.
And in order for me to actually get back on track with the short film, I'd have to go scour through YouTube and just look for all of these sound effects again. And also, in hindsight, I could have just looked at my history, just what I past watched, right? So I could have just done that, but I didn't, because I was like, no, it's just too much. I can't do it. And I was like, I could have done that, and that would have been an awesome ending to this project, but I couldn't. It was I didn't have the strength at the time, so I just continued making videos. And see, my webcomic, I might as well just say it out loud. It's the Swords Kid story in the form of a webcomic, and I'll explain that in the... It's going great so far. I have 3 of the characters written, and there's just it's pretty good so far, if I have to say for myself. Ooh. So it's a completely written story now. It's a very how do I say this, blurry outline of what I want it to be, but I'm getting there. And see, after I made the short film with a million quotation marks around it, I ended up going back to just regular Mateo Toons content, which, by the way, I think are my best 3 months of content in a long time, because I really liked the style of those videos, and I'm trying to replicate that with my videos today. But, with the webcomic and, see, I want my webcomic to take priority over my animations, kind of, because it's a passion project now. So you know, to the people, to the few people watching this who are fans of Mateo Toons, just know that animations are still coming around. So yeah, that's basically my YouTube journey so far. It's March of 2018 now, so probably the biggest project I worked on last year was the Toonsmas project. That took me 13 days to animate all those 5-minute shorts.
Oh,
it was
5-minute shorts.
Animated? It was just
completely animated.
Yeah.
Oh,
it was
wow.
It was 12 days of Christmas, right? So I had to animate 12 shorts.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah, at 12 days every day. Oh no.
Yeah.
The
daily animation is not as easy. It was a grind. It was the biggest grind of that year, I believe. So.
But you did it. You did it.
I persevered, man, and I ended up with a 30-minute cartoon, which is my longest cartoon I've ever made. And I made like a half-hour special, right? So I could put that on TLC.
Oh, dude, Mateo Toons making moves.
Yeah, I'm making some big moves. It's been a great year so far. My channel has been skyrocketing as of late, and I'm almost at 200 darn subscribers, which is amazing. Dude. So I can't wait. It's amazing, dude.
And at what, like 14? You've done a lot already.
I know, man. It's like I'm doing all these crazy things while I'm so young, and I just can't wrap my head around it, really, because it's just not a lot of 14-year-olds are doing the same thing I'm doing right now. They're just, out
playing Call of Duty,
doing whatever they want. It's crazy, right? So I'm here making a living, right? So it's nuts.
Dang, yeah.
So that's my life/YouTube journey as of right now.
Yeah, but the real question is what is the daily life of Mateo Toons like?
Oh boy!
Besides drinking
People
Coke.
have been asking me.
Hey, every day.
Wow! Thanks for the assumption, Emirias.
barging in, people barging in. Dad reveals.
Soda, I should.
Yeah.
Yeah. I should probably stop drinking so much soda. It's just so good. I can't help it. All right, what's the daily life of Mateo Toons like? Well, I wake up in the morning.
Nice.
And I sit in bed, or lay in bed rather, petting my cat, laying with my cat, and just scrolling through Instagram, scrolling through Twitter, going through Snapchat, watching some YouTube videos, and sleep through my alarm 3 days in a row.
Oh boy.
I'm set to wake up at 6:30 in the morning, which is like the best time to wake up ever. But I always wake up like 2 hours later at 11 or at 8, and I was just like, oh man, I gotta stop doing that. I gotta go to bed earlier and wake up earlier. So anyway, I wake up at around 8 or 6. I scroll through Instagram, laying with my cat. Then I go to my desk, and I open up my computer, and then I immediately get on the grind. I start animating videos. I start thinking of ideas for my comic. I start writing down stuff. Pardon me. I start recording audio. I can't really record audio right now because I need to get this new mic cable. But I bet by the time this thing comes out, I'll have the mic cable and I'll be able to record stuff still. What else do I do aside from work? Well, I do some cleaning around the house because
nice.
I like doing cleaning because cleaning gets my stress out.
Cleaning
sometimes
vlog. Yeah. There you go.
The real Mateo Toons cleaning vlog.
Yeah. I mean, so most of your day is spent animating.
Yeah, but up until I guess summer of this year, it's gonna consist of animating and doing my comic. I haven't really illustrated anything with a comic for the past 3 days because I've been just writing and thinking of ideas for it and just trying to get the characters together, finding more inspiration. I'm looking back to all the cartoons I used to watch on Cartoon Network, like Steven Universe and Regular Show and Adventure Time, just the main 3 things that get me hyped up making more animations. So after that, I usually play my ukulele, which I have right here. So I get out my ukulele. And I just think of new chords I could play, It's kind of out of tune right now. Yeah.
Dang. So
I play.
I guess
What, dude?
everybody is thinking right now, Mateo Toons, do you even go to school? Isn't it required by law to go to school? I'm confused, is what people are saying. Not me, that's what people are saying.
Alright, so you already know that I'm homeschooled, right? So
Yeah.
I'm homeschooled, in case anyone cares.
Everybody cares.
You see, a lot of people think you need an extracurricular, brain in order to make good things, but in the end, in case it's something you extremely want to get into, you could just make decent. I mean, I didn't go to college to learn how to make animations. I'm self-taught with a few tutorials here and there. I didn't go to college to learn how to make animation. I didn't go to college to learn how to breathe. I just simply thought about it for a little bit. I was like, maybe I could do this, and then I just did it. There wasn't college, all the way back in the Stone Age when people were trying to figure out how to make fire, right? It was just,
That's true.
Me make fire, poof, fire. So there. You don't need a college degree or diploma in order to get success anywhere. It's just, make what you like to make. I'm homeschooled, and I am still learning math. I suck at math. I'm great at writing and spelling. Math is my worst subject, man. It's like I'm still trying to learn how to do division and times. I'm trying to get used to times tables. I'm great at plussing and minus, obviously. But just
okay, quick question. Are you is a curriculum is a homeschool curriculum teaching you to do division by hand, long form division?
Basic. Well, I don't really know what you mean by that, but what it's doing is basically like do the division, but show your process as you're going. Yes, you can just write it down, but you got to show your process, right? And that's the worst part, because you gotta rethink everything you just thought by adding it up, and then you actually got to write it down. But I guess it kind of helps, right? But at the end of the day, it's kind of just like, ew, I don't want to do this now. It's just
I haven't done division by hand since 3rd grade. Why do we even have that anymore? It's a thing, honestly.
I don't know. I'm through times tables. I'm taught by the Scottish method, basically just like this times this equals this, not this times this divided by this plus this, and this, not this entire like Einstein, Stephen Hawking math equation that you got to figure out in order to launch a rocket into space. And it's like, to be completely honest, what would you need algebra for outside of school?
I mean, if you're not going to be like an engineer or anything, honestly, you don't really need it.
Yeah, exactly.
Besides,
I'm not an engineer.
I guess
I'm
it
an
teaches
animator.
you. I guess it kind of teaches you how to think, like analytically, like kind of solve
I
problems.
guess.
But
Yeah.
at the same time,
Sometimes.
like you can learn that from other things too. And yeah, honestly, so in 3rd grade we had to memorize our times tables, right? And I did bad because I never memorized them in 3rd grade, and I was like, I'll just memorize it next year in 4th grade because that's when I really need it. And then I didn't really need it, so I was like, I'll memorize it in 5th grade. And I kept on carrying on till now, and I'm like, hey, I just got a calculator. So MRIs reveals don't know his times tables. Oh boy.
Yeah, trust me, man. 7s, 8s, and 9s are where people struggle the most, because you got to be like, what does this add up to? It's just, it doesn't. 7s, 8s, and 9s are the hardest ones I'm doing right now. I can, I can't really do every one of them off the top of my head, but I could just easily, add it up and then, do that. But speaking of engineering, technology. So I want to talk about something that happened literally the day of recording this. So this morning I woke up, right, and just like any other day, I lay in bed, I'm having a good time, scrolling through Instagram, petting my cat, and I get up, I go over to my desk, I open up my computer, and what do you know, the thing restarted without me knowing. And for some reason, this is a problem that my computer has had for about 3 months now. It just restarts without me knowing, and I lose a lot of stuff. For example, I lost about a minute of animation today, and it was heartbreaking to me because I was like, that was so good, and I have all the frames still, but it just didn't save it. And I remember it saving it, so it was just, I don't know. So what ended up happening was that I had to restart everything. I had to open up Premiere again. I got to go through all the slow things that it notifies me about, and then I just go through my day. But here's the weirdest thing that was happening. For some reason, so to anyone who has a Windows 10 laptop, you know, on the bottom right, there's that little battery icon that shows whether or not your computer is charging. For some reason, that just wasn't there. It was just completely gone. And
you got trolled.
I was paranoid. I was like, wait a minute, is my computer charging right now, or is it not charging? It's okay now, mind you. So my computer, I couldn't tell if it was charging. It was at 100%. I was able to just go into the settings and like check how much it was, but I didn't want to do that every time. I wanted to see how much my computer was. I want to be able to take it places and conveniently just hover my mouse over the battery icon and say, oh, it's fully charged, or it's at 95%.
Yeah.
But for some reason, it just wasn't there. So I was like, okay, my computer does this thing sometimes where it's plugged in, but it isn't charging. So I'm like, what is even happening right now? So it restarts. It's either it restarts or it's plugged in and it's not charging. So let me get to the plugged in and not charging thing first. It's probably one of the more annoying things I have to deal with on the side of the spectrum of computer dealing with thingies. Basically, I plug in my computer, or I turn my computer on one day, and I hover over the thing where the battery is just ever so slightly drained, and I'm like, oh, maybe my computer just, you know, has a slow charge right now. Maybe I'm just running two things. Maybe I'm pushing the CPU too much. I don't know. So I hover over it, and it says that dreaded saying, plugged in, comma, not charging. So I'm like, okay,
what happens all the time to me? Oh no.
I don't know. And I'm just like, what's going on? What's going on now? So it was the first time I ever had dealt with this, so I was like, what the heck is going on? So I look it up on YouTube, and I was just like, plugged in. I say plugged in, not, and then everything was plugged in, not charging. Plugged in, not charging, Windows 10, 8, 8.1, 7, XP. I was like, what the heck is going on? I didn't know this was such a huge problem. So I look it up on YouTube, and I find out this ridiculous fix. It goes like this. What you gotta do, shut off your computer, unplug the AC adapter, hold the power button for 1 minute, plug it back in, turn it back on, and pray to God that the thing is actually charging now. So what you gotta do is you gotta keep figuring out whether or not it's charging. And for the first few times, it just doesn't work. I don't know why it just doesn't work, but it just doesn't. So I hover my mouse over the thing, plugged in, not charging. So now we look up even crazier things like remove the battery for a minute and then put the battery back in, screw the thing back on, plug it in, hold the power button for a minute and then turn it back on and hope that it works. It doesn't work. What do you do then? Well, you just, take your computer to the shop. That doesn't work either because your computer is basically a lost cause at that point. So it's like an endless cycle of just like figuring out whether or not this darn computer could charge again, because you become paranoid, because it's especially bad for me because I do all my work on my laptop. So it's like I have everything on my laptop. I got like 100 gigs of just files that I need to have. So it's just paranoid. I'm just paranoid all the time with my computer. The other thing that happens is the random reboots and restarts or just updates.
Oh, so Windows 10 updates! Shout out!
I hate Windows 10, man. It's the worst, and I have it, so it's like, why? I gotta deal with it, man. Again, it's one of those things you just gotta persevere with. So, what happened is that sometimes. This has been a problem ever since I got my new drawing tablet, because whenever I shut off my computer and don't turn off my tablet, the computer recognizes the tablet as a second monitor, because my tablet has a screen, so, it recognizes it as a second monitor. So whenever I turn off my computer, it's like, oh, this must be a second monitor, so it turns back on. And then for some reason, whenever I leave it on at the startup screen, it just reboots itself, or it updates, or it just, shuts off completely. But this time it was different. So I wake up, I come to my desk, open up my computer, it's not on. So I turn it back on, and what do you know, I lose basically everything I was working on that day. So I reboot everything, and I just then noticed that the charger icon is not there. So I do the entire thing where it's like, unplug it, do this, hold this for a minute, and then turn it back on. I did that, and then for some reason I was listening to music and doing work when my computer just shut off completely. I don't know what caused this. I didn't get a blue screen of death. I got no warning of this. I got no prompt saying save this before your computer shuts off. Just flat lines. It was crazy. So I turn it back on. I lose even more stuff where I'm just like, oh, this is just wonderful. I cannot believe this right now. Just my luck. I needed this today completely. And my computer is working way better than it's ever been in months now for some reason. I think it just needed a few quick restarts and just, some clearing of space, and it would work again. But
the usual.
I don't know. PCs are the most infuriating thing on the planet because they're just so complicated. Like, to the people who have Macs, man, props to you, dude. It's like you got the easiest side of things, but us PC people do not. Windows is just way worse than people make it out to be.
Yeah, I mean, it's part of life, and this is the What Is Life podcast, so life has problems like that. Yeah.
To be completely honest, at the beginning of the podcast when you were doing the intro, I expected you to say, hello and welcome to the Real Oreo podcast. I don't know why. I was just expecting that so much because it was just such a thing for you to do. But then I was like, oh, he didn't name it the Real Oreo podcast, I guess.
Oh, you trolled me. You make Emirize feel sad now. Emirize is sad. Oh. Emirize is sad tuber now. He is very sad. Very sad. Sadarias, dude.
About the video,
you
uploaded recently, News Arias, I thought that was ridiculous. Like, the content was just unbelievably well made. Like, I'm currently standing on this massive block of cheese, and like, it has a horrible smell, but it tastes delicious. Back to you and Emirias. That was intense. That was
an intense video.
Pretty lit content, if I got to say for myself.
Yeah. Now, another question I have about the life of Mateo is, how do you make friends? Do you have friends?
Well, here's the massive FBI kept secret of Mateo Toons. Mateo Toons is actually a very big introvert. Like,
well, we all are. That's why we do YouTube. Yeah.
Interactions with like real life people is really awkward because I don't know what to say in a regular conversation face to face, because it's different talking to someone, for example, through Skype. I'm talking to you through Skype right now, Emirias. Yeah. So it's like, what the heck am I to do in the situation where someone comes up to me and says hello? I'm like, what do I talk about? I can't immediately relate to the person and say, oh, you're the person who does that thing, or I'm the person who does this thing. And I for one, don't want to be boastful about my channel because that's just a douchey thing to do.
Yeah.
And second, I don't want to talk about my channel in general because people don't really relate to that kind of thing. So I don't know. But sometimes people just come up to me and say, hey, aren't you that guy that does the cartoons? And I'm like, yes, I am. So then we talk, and then we push past the fact that I'm the guy who makes the cartoons to the guy who is your friend now. So it's like, I'm willing to make friends with anybody as long as they're, not crazy.
Oh, so now we know Mateo's secret to making friends.
It's no secret. It's just running into basically a wall. Speaking of which, don't turn on phone. I'm not using Snapchat right now. Speaking of which, the other day, my old pal, Logan, came by. I haven't seen him in about
Paul,
5
what?
years. No, not Logan.
Oh.
He's just a guy I know named Logan. He came over the other day from, funnily enough, Texas, and he's in Colorado right now, I think. I don't know. But he looks different now, and like it's funny because interacting with someone I already know is way easier than interacting with someone I just met, because I don't go places just for the sake of meeting people. It's like, that's hard for me to do because I don't know what the heck to talk about, because if I'm not the one starting the conversation, if they're not the one starting the conversation, what are we supposed to do exactly? So it's very odd. I'm an odd person, so I don't know.
True. Hey, is VidCon ever a goal for you? What do you think?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So someday I would absolutely love to go to VidCon, but I would need some pretty hefty cash behind me to do that. So please support my my Patreon. Go buy my
Shameless
merch.
plug. Hey.
Tip me on that online tip jar.
Twitch live streams. Yeah.
Twitch live streams. So, yeah, VidCon would be an amazing thing to do someday. I would honestly love meeting people that watch my stuff, because that would be just, like, very weird, but, like, very awesome at the same time.
Yeah, honestly,
so,
give it 5 years, and you'll be adult, and you'll have content and a fan base, and people will be like, whoa! It's Mateo Toons, that guy that makes weird animation. Yeah.
Guy who makes weird animations. Whoops.
Yeah.
That was weird.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
Another question I have about the life of Mateo, because this is the What Is Life podcast.
You plugged your own podcast.
Within the podcastception. Yeah, the question is, what does Mateo have for dinner, usually? Does he have dinner? How does he have time for dinner with the hustle?
That's a good question, Emerize. Here's what Mateo does with eats. See, recently I've been cutting down on food because I need to lose some of that weight that gains life. So, what I do is I eat breakfast. So get out some waffles or get some cereal. Just put that in the toaster. Or put some milk in a bowl. Get some cereal, some pretty good tasting cereal. For lunch, usually just cook something up on the pan. Microwave some chicken. Get some food going. Some veggies in there. Get some
veggies.
Nice some stuff. And then for dinner, just basically repeat lunch, but just make it just a slight bit more fancy. Put some apple juice in a wine glass and pretend you're all fancy. So just
there you go.
Really about that. Not that last part about the apple juice in the wine glass. Just get like a water or a Coke or something and just enjoy the night. Get some content going on the computer. Do some fun stuff like that.
Do you usually eat by your computer?
Sometimes my family, sits around the table to have dinner, but we usually just use the table in the kitchen for like hanging out, just talking, because so it's not like the typical like get around the table and have dinner with the family kind of thing. We just kind of eat whenever we see fit. My mom and dad eat together, obviously, but like we just don't really sit down by the table and just have a chat and eat.
That's true.
But we do sometimes. It's pretty fun, but we usually just eat whenever we want to. So if I'm actually quite hungry right now, so I might go get some food after this podcast.
Hey, that leads me to my last question perfectly.
Oh boy.
The What Is Life podcast, This Is That, wants to ask you, I'm completely guessing that they want to ask you this, but they want to ask you, how is your dad so cool?
Dude. That's such a awesome thing to say. Believe it or not, actually, you can believe this if you want to. So I actually tell my dad all about you guys all the time. He actually roots for my channel like constantly. We always talk about getting new gear and improving our stuff, because my dad is a full-time, kind of. He makes music. He's a musician, so he's got the E-drum kit. He's got the giant Triton piano. He's got Studio One going. He's grinding on some songs. He just needs to get an audio interface, and then he'll be able to make his songs again. But I think my dad is cool because he was raised in the music life, because he used to be in a rock band or a metal band called Extraction. So I guess that's how I got myself into making music and listening to metal all the time, because I'm just like my dad with musical taste, like soft, calm music, and then immediately go to the speed metal. So my dad, he plays guitar all the time. He plays drums all the time, and dude, my dad is like shredded, man. He is like so like beefy, dude. Like if you could see his legs, he'll kick you across the street like a football, man. He's just crazy strong. I'm currently trying to learn how to play drums, but my dad's been doing it for like 30 years, so he has some pretty crazy experience. But it's an E-drum kit, not an actual drum set. But he's like, I'm too used to the E-drum kit now, and I can't go to the actual drum set.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So-
I think my dad's cool because
Yeah.
he's a musician.
He is an artiste just like you.
Yeah, dude.
Huh.
So any final questions before we wrap up this podcast? I think.
What you mean, boy? That was the final question.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. What now then?
Anything you want to plug? A little shameless plug moment for Mateo Toons.
Oh, of course. So I didn't introduce myself at the beginning of the podcast, but hello, my name is Mateo Toons, and this is what. Okay, I might actually send you a drawing to put into the podcast and be sitting down. I don't know, but I make cartoons. In case you couldn't tell, I make content. I'm currently working on a webcomic that's going to come out hopefully in June or July. I make animations monthly right now because working on the comic is kind of taking time away from that, but monthly animations until summer, I guess. I have my own podcast, so let's just shamelessly plug that.
Nice.
Emerias actually was on an episode 2 of the Tooncast. Tooncast, man. That was the bomb. I also have a second channel, Mateo Toots, that I barely ever use, so you guys can go check that out too. Links in the description, I hope.
Nice.
And yeah, that's just the gist of Mateo Toons. Go watch all my old content.
Oh boy, what? That's a great little plug there. All right.
Yeah, man.
Hey, Mateo Toots, thanks for being on the What Is Life podcast, where we talked about the life of
Thank you.
the best animator 14-year-old on YouTube.
Oh man, thank you so much for having me on. It's been a blast. I took about 47 minutes out of my day just to talk about my boring life, but it was amazing nonetheless. Everyone, go subscribe to Emerias. He's a great content creator. Can't wait for the next video.
Like, comment, subscribe. I'm about to go film it right now. Somebody's at my door to get filming, so they just knocked on it. I don't know if you heard.